Hi there. I feel really good today and really interested in seeing what's in the cards. And so let's get started. I have the Two of Swords at the foundation. All right, so it looks like you're waiting to make a decision, perhaps waiting for more information. And yeah, there's a lot going on probably emotionally for you at your foundation, but you're trying to remain intellectual about it and logical. All right, so that's at the foundation. Let's get 6 more cards and see what else is coming up. Now, with this card, I do feel like you're trying to keep balance, which is really great. I feel like you're trying to make the right choice, whatever that may be. And we have some major arcana coming up. So we have the Fool, and I think that you're wanting to feel in this Fool energy, or you are feeling in this Fool energy. Actually, I'm getting the vibe that you are feeling in this Fool energy. You are ready to have pleasure and enjoyment and indulge and just to live life and enjoy life. Life is meant to be enjoyed, right? These want to come up, and I have the Two of Pentacles. All right, so are you juggling something? Maybe juggling some decisions to be made, because we got the Two of Swords and now we have the Two of Pentacles, and I see some waves back there with this card, and there's like the boats going on, the turbulent waves. So I feel like there's a decision that needs to be made. You're juggling something, and I think you want to just take off like the Fool and just walk off a cliff and have no cares in the world and stuff like that. But we have the Two of Pentacles here, and then we have the Hermit. So the major arcana, the Fool and the Hermit. I do love that the Hermit has the 6-pointed star in their lamp, and so that to me it symbolizes a divine clarity, divine intelligence. So that light is guiding the Hermit, providing that Hermit protection, and it's a 6-pointed star, which is very special to me. And so I encourage you, even if you feel like you might be alone or in a dark place, especially with this Two of Swords, and then maybe I feel like the aloneness of this Hermit card, God is with you. The universe is with you. That 6-pointed star is protecting you and guiding you. And keep that star blazing, for sure. And that's coming up in your heart space, the Hermit is. So I believe that in your heart, you're maybe going within, doing more introverted activities, which is great, and you're trying to study and search and find the answers, and I think that's a really great energy to be in. I know I love studying and reading, and so it brings me a lot of relaxation and enjoyment, and I feel enriched and I'm learning. And so with that, and then the Fool energy, I like this energy actually. I don't see anything bad here. Let's keep going and see what else wants to come up. We have the Queen of Wands. Okay. Wow. So I believe that you are speaking your truth, like the Queen of Wands. I love the androgyny of this card. You know, the Queen of Wands, you know, doesn't look like she has a very feminine presence, but I don't know. I just see androgyny with this card, and I love that. You know, she is in her masculine and feminine energy equally. Look at those sunflowers on this card. I love sunflowers. You could see I have sunflowers in the background that I picked from my garden. Sunflowers are one of my favorite flowers, and this Queen of Wands here, she is holding that flower and sitting on the throne that belongs to them, and I think that that's a wonderful energy to be in. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I believe you're being honest, you're speaking your truth, you are feeling clear. Let's see what else comes up. Interesting. So the King of Wands came up right after, and it just popped out. So we have the Queen of Wands, and now we have the King of Wands here. And we can see here that next to each other, this is the way they are on the table, right? So next to each other, we can see that she, this Queen of Wands, he or she, I'm going to say she because it says Queen of Wands, but we already talked about the beauty of the androgyny of the Queen of Wands. She's looking out this way, and then the King of Wands is looking this way, okay? They're not looking at each other, but they're in like a similar energy, you know? They're stable, they're steady, they are assured. It looks like they're self-assured. So cute. I see the little lizard right there, and then the little cat. So those are cute. Nature symbols. Maybe this has something to do with your counterpart, because there's a two, and then the Queen and King are a pair. So the Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and then the King of Wands, Queen of Wands are a pair in the same suit. So interesting. I feel like maybe you have relationship on your mind or love on your mind. You want a partner. Maybe someone's juggling you, or you're juggling something or someone. Let's get one more. Wow. And then we have the King of Cups coming up. So I think you want to understand your emotions. You want to and I believe you do have emotional intelligence, and perhaps you're developing it. But I feel like that's a great energy, is wanting to understand, not pointing fingers at other people first as a knee-jerk reaction, but saying, hey, what do I need to do to understand what just happened, or what is happening, or what's going to happen? I'm thinking that this is great, that someone is being reflective, and this person not just blurting things out, the King of Cups. This person not just blurting things out. This person is thinking about it and really going within their heart and their mind to find their strength within, and to figure out what's the best thing to say and what's the best move to make. And sometimes it's best to say nothing, and this is what this King of Cups is doing, and I'm all for that. I'm here for that. Sometimes we don't need to say anything, and our actions speak louder than our words, and maybe it's just not the time to speak right now, right? Okay. I feel called to pull a gold foil just to finish off our reading and kind of clarify or sum up or give us a little bit more insight in what's going on. And so what came up with the gold foil is the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords here is at the beginning of, like, I want to say at the beginning of a realization. How else can I say this? Like, this person is seeking the truth. The Page of Swords wants the intellectual truth. It's a curious energy. I see the Page as a strong character. Even though the Page is just at the beginning of their life journey, they still know a lot. They've been around enough and taken enough trips around the sun, lived on this world to know what's what. And so although the Page is still gaining more experience, the Page still knows a lot. And the Page is an intellectual person, a thoughtful person. This person does not make decisions based only on emotion, but this person really tries to use their intellect. And just because the Page is young doesn't mean that the Page has nothing to offer. I don't see it that way. There's a lot of power in our youth, and a lot of beauty in youth, a lot of knowledge and intelligence in youth. I mean, have you ever talked to a child and they're just so amazing because they actually know a lot. And so wisdom can live within the Page of Swords. I believe it can. And so I'm not sure why I'm bringing up this concept or this term of ageism, but for some reason that's coming to mind, is, forget ageism. Who cares about that? Who cares about the number of years? And a lot of people, I think, try to use that as a box, like in jobs or whatever, like, oh, you don't have enough experience, or, you haven't been around enough, you're so young, or you're so old. I just encourage you, don't be limited by age. Don't be limited by other people's limited view of what you're capable of. Okay? Ageism is one of those things that really can be detrimental. And so, yeah, I just really feel like going off and talking about that. So there's something to this, because it's really resonating with me today. This page, to me, looks upright. This page is ready to go. This page has a lot to offer and has a big, wonderful sword that they know how to use. And this page is not a careless page of swords, I believe. And then also with this Fool energy, I'm going to put this here. I love the Fool's energy as well. And so this page of sword, if you're in this page of swords energy, again, whether you're male, female, whatever, you're at the beginning perhaps of some realization. You are wanting to make the right decision, but you're willing to take risks too. And so I think that's a really great energy. The sun is shining on you, the Fool here with the sun. With the Two of Pentacles, all right, so as far as like what's going on with your senses, you're not feeling overwhelmed, but you are juggling something. Okay, and what you're juggling could even be like what's going on in your five senses. I love when the Hermit card comes up, because I really feel like we all need to be the hermit on a daily, weekly basis, and really that balance of our energies interacting with external forces and internally like processing what's really going on. And that's really how I use tarot too, is for individuation and to really get awareness and realizations and get that going. And so I encourage you to, journal, write, make videos. I make tarot videos, really go within. And remember that six-pointed star is guiding and protecting that hermit, okay? I'm getting rabbi vibes from this hermit. I like it. Now, the Queen of Wands, King of Wands, they're not facing each other, so I think they're just like busy doing their own thing. But I don't sense any discord like today. The Queen of Wands is holding the sunflower. There's a cute little cat there. The King of Wands, I just am really drawn to the lizard and the cat, so that might be significant for you. And then the King of Cups, I believe, does possess emotional intelligence, and that is something that I believe that you are striving for. And so this is a pretty great, solid energy to be in as far as my viewpoint. And so, yeah, don't be constricted by what people say. Try not to be constricted by what people say. And again, I do want to call out and realize that, hey, I do live in a free country. I live in the United States of America. And in this time and era, as a woman, I do have my free will. I do have the ability to make these videos and express myself. And I can say like, hey, who cares about ageism, with my first world problems or whatnot. Like, I do want to be real, and I am aware of that. But this is my truth too. Like, this is my life and when I was born on this world. And so my experience is that, it's okay to be young and in control. And you can be young and wise. You can be young and proficient with your sword. And your sword being like your thoughts, your mind, your intellect as well. Okay? And so, yeah, I do realize that some people don't have the luxury of being able to, especially women around the world, right? Don't have the luxury of being able to speak their mind, express what's in their heart openly. They don't have time or different resources. And so, yeah, just try not to be discouraged by that. And I want you to do the best you can with whatever resources you've been given. And hey, who knows, perhaps in the next life we might be rewarded for what we did in this life, right? So I hope you were entertained with this story today with the cards. Definitely take care of yourself, and I hope to see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day.